Okay, so I went in and had sinus surgery on Thursday morning. It is now Sunday evening, so we're 72 plus hours. I didn't video anything from the beginning. I did take pictures, but I felt so crappy, and I still feel kind of crappy, but I felt so crappy I just wasn't up for it. I had surgery to correct, excuse me, a sinus infection that I've had now for literally 8 months. 4 rounds of antibiotics, 2 rounds of prednisone, and the doctor said it's either surgery or you could try more antibiotics, but eventually it's going to eat into your brain and possibly your ocular cavity. So, you know, what do you do? I was suggested have this surgery before, probably 10 years ago, but that infection finally resolved and I figured I'd be fine. I really should have done it then. It is what it is. Anyway, the doctor had a CT scan ordered, and when I came into his office after that, he was pretty shocked by the amount of infection that was in the sinus cavity, in every sinus cavity. So I didn't do myself any favors by waiting around, but when does anybody do that? Most of us just don't run to the surgeon. Needless to say, we scheduled surgery 2 weeks later. I went in on Thursday. I had the surgery. I felt like absolute crap right after. Everybody was great. There's nothing wrong with the staff. I just felt terrible. I had hydrocodone prescribed for every 4 hours. At about the 3 hour and 15 mark, it was gone. So I waited for another 45 minutes or so, hurting pretty badly. But I know the parameters are there for a reason. So I just did the best I could. When he got into my sinus cavity, he realized that there was more going on than he thought, because there were polyps up in the ethmoid and frontal sinus, if I remember correctly, that were not seen on the CT scan because they were covered by the amount of infection in my sinuses. So he had to take care of all of those, clean out all the sinus cavities, and he did a turbinate reduction to get rid of the inflammation of the turbinates, and a septoplasty because I had a deviated septum, which we knew about, but apparently it was worse than he had initially anticipated. And, you know, you can't tell how things are going to go until you get up in there. So here we are. It's Sunday. Surgery was Thursday morning. I sleep in about 3-hour increments in between times to take medication. I will say that it is better than it was, so I know that it's going to get better in the long run, but my nose is so sensitive to touch, it's ridiculous. I'm supposed to do nasal irrigations with a saline water rinse, which I am doing 4 times a day, started Friday. No, he sent me home Friday, so I started on Saturday. I will keep those up religiously because I know that that's one of the only ways I'm going to get better, is to get all of this stuff out of my sinus cavity. I would hope that anybody who is on the fence about it and has infections that are chronic, that come every year, month after month, from allergies and colds, talk to somebody who can take care of it, because this is, while this is miserable right now, I have never been more run down and miserable in my life than I have been for the last 8 months. So everything I'm going to go through right now is totally worth being better in the future. And I will try to post more videos as time goes on, and, you know, we will see where we're at. Thanks for listening.